One day, when the walls come down, I'll still be around. I'll still be around in the rubble without fading doubt. I'll still be around. I'll still be around. Oh, honey.
Most of our listeners, I think myself included, heard your music for the first time as part of Juneteenth, the movement. That was last summer, and it was presented by Iowa Public Radio and XBK. Not only was that an incredible night of music, it really felt like history was being made. What was it like being part of that night?
It was incredible. It was something that, I heard the idea for it and got the invite for it, but nothing really prepared me for what it actually was. I think my band and I were all very impressed just walking in and seeing the stage and thinking oh, this is great. And, looking up the other performers, that sort of thing. I can't remember another time when something like this has happened where we've gotten, Black performers from across the state collaborating on one event that is such, high quality artists and cool people to meet. So I was thrilled about it. I had a great time. We talk about it all the time as a kind of a game-changing show for us. So it was great.
Something else you're known for is the Iowa City Songwriters Collective. And this group meets in Iowa City at a place called El Rey's Live and Dive. Is this every Monday, or is this just when the group can get together?
We started off in August, meeting every Monday. And kind of the flow of it is that one Monday we kind of have experienced artists, people that have been playing around the state, come in, and we have maybe 4 or 5 of them to play more extended sets of their music. In the opposite weeks, we have less established artists, people that are still learning the craft, that are just getting into songwriting. A lot of those are students that just come and workshop the material. They get a 20-minute set to play things that they're writing and get feedback from other experienced artists, which is really the collective spirit of it. Is you see performances, but everybody's on the same level as far as commenting on each other's work and hopefully making each other better. So it was fantastic. A lot of incredible artists showed up and blew us away, and we were pumped about it. Our dream is to really, vamp it up even where we're having songwriters, songwriting sessions in terms of sitting down and working through something that you're playing in the moment, if that makes sense. Right now, it's a lot of performance-based and then notes after the performance. And I get to sit down with pretty much all of the artists in one, form or another, just to talk about their work and where they're headed. So it's been cool for me to get to know a lot of different artists.
Has there been a special moment or something a particular evening or a particular Monday night that you said, wow, we really have something cool happening here?
Oh man, there have been several. And like I said, so many great artists have come through, it would be hard to pick one particular performance, but our very first night, it's kind of like Juneteenth. I felt like this Songwriters Collective was a good idea. I didn't think we really had anything like this. It's something that I would have killed for when I was an artist that was just starting out, and even now. When I first started it, I was like, we'll see how this goes. But Kevin B.F. Bird, if you've heard of him, I'm sure you have, played at our first one. And he looked at all the artists that were out there, and he said, this is basically said, this is a sacred space. This is the space that we need in our community. And being an artist in Iowa, he said, no one is looking in Iowa for the next great artist. It's all about us building each other up, and this is the space to do it. He just really made it clear, what we are going to do in this collective will be special if we commit to making it special.
We at Iowa Public Radio are getting ready to kick off the All Access Live series. This series is formerly known as Studio One Underground. You'll be kicking the series off March 3rd, heading back to XBK. Your band, the Rollback, is going to be there. Also, the Bridges to Harmony Gospel Choir. How does it feel to be kicking off this series?
I'm so excited. I am thrilled. I am lucky to have gotten to play Juneteenth and have played at XBK one other time since then. I really love the venue. like I said, I love playing with the gospel choir, so I'm just pumped about that. But it also feels like, kind of like you said, so many things have stopped in the world, that every time I get to be a part of something special like this, I don't take it for granted. We all lost that chance to play music the way we want to for a really long time. And so I'm excited about that. I'm excited to, showcase some new things. And we hope to put on a really good show and to start it off on the right foot. And
I understand you're working on a new project now.
Yeah, I'm working on a project called Happy. And it's sort of like what we were talking about before, of losing a lot of time during the pandemic. But I wrote an album called Still last spring about that feeling of kind of being stuck during a pandemic. And Happy is kind of about the turmoil that we all experienced in the pandemic, whether it's political or otherwise. And the feeling that I had a lot of times of some people that felt indifferent to the struggles of others and were able to maintain happiness because they seem to not care. I don't want the world to be a place that's just happy and ignoring the troubles of various groups in our society. At the same time, it's really hard to struggle through those things, and we all are trying to be happy. And so the album is just kind of about, like, what is happiness? What is health and happiness? And how do we find that? And we'll be putting that out later this spring. So I'm excited about that.